Hello, everybody. Let me go post the link to our broadcast here on our website. The website is jollyrogerukulele.com. And today is Thursday, and we have our end of the week, 5 days into 4 days this week. And this is the final episode of this the Foundations program. So if you are new around here, you might want to think about starting up on Tuesday. On Tuesday, we start the whole program all over again, and we'll get as many people up and running playing instrumental ukulele as possible. We are obviously going to have a few people who are like, you know what, I got the message. I know what I'm doing. I'm going to move on to be a regular attendee of the top few class, and a few people are going to be like, you know what, I can probably use another round of foundations, and so we'll do that. I got us posted online. Looks like it's working fine. I'm going to close this window, and I'm going to. Today we are playing, in case you are wondering, we will start with Make a Better Bar worksheet, and then we will be playing Daisy Bell, key of F arpeggio, key of C arpeggio for baritones, Aloha Oe, and then Scarborough Fair. So we'll be doing it in that order. And I think what we'll do, we'll probably run down all the baritone versions first and then switch over and play all of the ukulele versions. And you guys know, obviously, it's flipping back and forth. I don't know how you have your book set up. I think most of you are probably putting baritone in one section and ukulele in another section. That would probably make the most sense. But let me know if you've got your book set up differently than that. I think that's probably how I'd set my book up. And then it's probably just easier just to play through one instrument first and then play through the other instrument later. Let me post on Twitter what we're up to today. Catch Your Fanny Friday, Catch Your Fanny Thursday, Daisy Bell, Arpeggios, and what else? Daisy Bell, Arpeggios, Aloha Oe, and Scarborough Fair. Yeah, that's a nice list. Aloha Oe, Scarborough Fair, period, space, https://jollyrogerukulele.com. My face pops up. I go grab our skeleton logo, stick it on the internet, hit tweet, and there we go. All right, let's see. I've never noticed. Can we link to Instagram when we do this? Click Facebook, email. It's Facebook. We do Facebook. We're not going to do Facebook. Tumblr. Oh, gosh. And there's a bunch of stuff in other languages. Gosh, you can connect all kinds of things. Facebook would be the only other one we're likely to do. We'll probably use Facebook for special occasions. How about that? Hi, everybody. What time is it? I'm in a little late, so let's get started. Grab your baritone. Let's do baritones first. Those of you guys that have ukuleles, let's have you do your you'll be on accompaniment for the first part of the day today, and then we will switch over to your stuff. So let's do baritone version first. We're going to start with the Make a Better Bar. And ukulele players, I think probably smartest just to have you sit down for this, right? It'll sound really weird if you try to play along. There it is. It's funny, I play every day on this, obviously. And it hasn't been that, the strings aren't that old on it, but I can already hear them starting to just give up, you know, they're like, not quite the same punchiness as when they're clean and new. Let's see, who's in today? Bruce is in from Utah today. Bruce, very nice. Very nice. It's probably beautiful there. Dennis in from Toronto, sunny and cold. Diane is in today. I'll rock the concert. Diane's ready to go. Vic in from Eugene, 40 degrees up there today. Donna in from Denver, sunny and cold out there. Janice, sunny. What? Sunny up in Scotland. It's beautiful today, but free. -7 degrees. Oh, -7 Celsius. Ooh, that's brutal. That's tough. But the sun's out, so that's something. Linda in from Colorado Colorado Springs, getting colder as the week goes on. Tomorrow we're supposed to have a really cold day. David, sunny and shivering in Michigan. It's very cold up there. Pam in from Connecticut. Sunny and beautifully cool day in Connecticut today. Wanted to jump it in during my lunch to say hello. Hello, Pam. And by the way, thank you for your nice note. That was super kind. Rob, 36 degrees and cloudy. These tuxedos are getting expensive. Rob's been renting a tuxedo every concert time. Marianne, she's a local here, as is Ray. And Nancy, 82 and sunny in perfect Florida. Oh, gosh. You're lucky. Right. Make a better bar on baritone only. Ukulele players sit out. Okay. From the top. 1, 2, ready, go. There is your make a better bar. I recommend, again, guys, that you do that every time you sit down to practice. Just run up and run back and be building that bar chord skill or bar chord power that you're going to need to play the more advanced instrumental music. Let's then go on to a baritone version of Daisy Bell. So that's for everybody. So go grab your Daisy Bell. And ukulele players, you are playing chords. You've got your C chord, your G chord, C chord, F chord, and G7 chord. You also have D7, which looks like this, remember, and your A minor chord looks like this. So it's all your regular factory issued chords, except D7 is it's outside of the typical C arrangement. Baritone players, you're going to either play chords, you're going to play melody, you're going to play tough acts, whichever makes you happy. From the top, and this song does not have any repeats, so we play straight down to the bottom, and that's that. Let me get my page turner working. From the top, 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 3. Lovely tune, definitely worth knowing how to play. Sounds pretty good on baritone, I think. Next, let's go grab the baritone version of the arpeggio, and it's the key of C arpeggio for baritone players. So baritone arpeggios, key of C. And those of you with electronic files, it's number 214. Ukulele players, remember you're on chord still. We're playing 4 strums per measure, probably, or maybe 4 plucks per measure. You have your C, your A minor, your F, and your G chords, and then I believe there's a G7 that sneaks in here somewhere, maybe not. And remember, ukulele players, you're not having to go up the, you're not having to chase it up the neck like the baritone players are going to end up doing. You stay in your root position to get the most bang for your buck out of playing these chords. And I think you'll end up being happy with your overall result. So you play chords, ukulele players, baritone players. Hopefully you're playing the arpeggio. We won't go too fast, but we'll keep pressing forward. Here we go. From the top, 1, 2, 3, 4. Back to the top of the paper. Measure 3. Measure 5. 7. 9. 13. 2. Right now, the big question is, ukulele players, were you able to play along just strumming and kind of backing me up as the main idea? And then baritone players, were you finding a way to survive through that? It was a fairly jaunty clip. It wasn't as fast as you're supposed to play it, but pretty fast. It was probably a 110 or so. And, it's designed to be played quite a little bit faster than that. And hopefully that's coming together for you. Pam says, you are very welcome. It's always good to know how much you are appreciated. I'm definitely doing foundations again. I feel like I've made great improvements since week 1. So Pam has come a long way. She sent me a lovely note and very kind. I think, guys, one of the things that you'll be thinking about over the weekend is, how am I feeling about my ukulele playing? Are things starting to come together for me? You're never, ever, ever, ever going to feel like you totally have it together as a musician. But there comes this time when you're like, yeah, I basically got the main idea, right? And I'm hearing some pinging sounds when I play. I don't know if it's me, if I need to hold the strings harder, or I need new strings. Probably a little all of those, right, Pam? When you have weird rattly things coming out of your ukulele, what I tell people is, if you're in town, I say, bring it down. Let me play it. Let's see if it rattles for me. A lot of times it does. And then you'd probably, if you are not experienced in looking for issues with your instrument, take it into a guitar shop and let them evaluate it. Not Guitar Center, but some guy locally who's been around a while, who does a lot of guitar repairs. Ask him to take, him or her, almost always a him, almost always an old white guy with gray hair. But go have them go check it. And there are rattles show up in these things all the time. So if you're hearing a rattle, it could very likely be your instrument. And a lot of times those are fixable. If your strings are older than 1 year, definitely get your strings changed typically when most guitar, by the way, you're grabbing Aloha Oe, the baritone version, please. Also, of course, as newer players, there's a lot of times when you're making the rattle, you're either not squeezing hard enough, or you're not well placed on the fretboard, or something, you're hitting something over here, laying down on something over here. So it is easy to make a lot of rattles as a newer player on accident. I make plenty of rattles as an experienced player on accident. And so if you're hearing a rattle and you start to isolate it, like if your rattle happens when you hit this chord and you hear that, it's probably you're playing. But if you hear the rattle when you're playing a C chord, let's see if I can make this one, something like that, then it's probably you, right? So if it's a real complicated thing you're trying to play and you hear a rattle, it could very likely be you. If it's something that's not, if it's happening during something simple where you know you're doing it well, then it might be your instrument. And so guitar guys don't know a ton about ukulele, but they do know how to find a rattle. And so if you hear some weird stuff coming out of your instrument, take it over to your guitar shop. They'll look at it for free. They really will. You say, hey, I think I'm getting this rattle when I do this, and show them what you're hearing, and they'll know whether it's something that's fixable or not. Most of the time when I hear a rattle, it's usually coming from these need to be tightened up. A lot of times something on the bridge is getting a little loose. A lot of times the saddle isn't sitting properly. It's not uncommon to get a rattle out of these nuts that we put on the end here. And of course, it's very common for your nut here to come unglued, and then if things are moving around like they're not supposed to. So, but somebody in your area that works on guitars on a regular basis, not Guitar Center, you might want to stop by and just take your instrument in and have them look at it. They'll be honest with you. All right, Aloha Oe on baritone. Let's give it a try. Ukulele players, remember your E chord is a bar on 4 with your pinky on 7. When you go to A, you have a choice. I would just put an F shape in front of my bar on 4 to get my A chord. Or you can come back down here and play this A chord, index and middle. Either one of those is fine. And then your B7, remember, is a bar on 2 with your middle finger on the 3rd string. Okay, so that's what your shapes are. Baritone players, you're going to play either the chords or the melody or the tough uke. Either one of those is, all of those are ways you have to be able to play going forward into your ukulele life as an instrumentalist. Pick which way is the best, and let's see how we do. From the top, 1, 2, 3. ukulele player, you're trying to get your E chord and my E chord to match up, one where we're exactly at the same spot. And remember, last measure, you usually don't play, strum your four strums all the way through. Isn't that a pretty song? Sounds really nice on baritone, and a little hard to play because you're really working your pinky to death, and so that's a tough one. Final baritone song of the week. Let's go grab Scarborough Fair. Baritone players, as I've mentioned on a number of occasions, at foundational level, you already have every single thing that you need as a baritone player to keep up with the ukulele players. So I have baritone versions of everything on the foundational level. Where things have been evolving in the book 2 list, and again, if you're on the website, you go to ukulele and baritone tab, all of the songs that are public domain that are readily available for you to practice with are all sitting on there. And I'm in the process of updating all of those pieces of sheet music to include a ukulele and a baritone version. So baritone players, I'm putting most of my energy at that level, at your next level, into you guys. And so there's already really, really nice stuff on the website sitting out in public, ready for you to borrow and use. And there's lots of that already for ukulele players, and I think there's 80 some songs on that page. So feel free to start messing around with that, and just see if you can get a sense of how you're playing. But baritone players, we're going to be continually really pushing toward getting all of those songs to have a baritone version as well. So those of you who like the sound, I don't necessarily recommend all ukulele players have a baritone, but once you are understanding this system and you're feeling like, yeah, I can pretty much play from tablature and making a lot of sense to me, it's not a bad idea to have each instrument. Because sometimes when you get together with other people, y'all get together and 4 people bring ukuleles, and you're like, well, maybe I'll take my baritone, and then we'll have a little bit more in-depth sound going on. All right, here's your chance, baritone players. Make it good. Make this one count. From the top, ukulele players, remember your D minor is this shape, C chord is this shape, F chord is this shape, and G chord is this shape. And is that all the chords? That's all the chords. So D minor is the one that's a lot of people forget. It's just an F chord with your ring finger on. C, F, and G you should have in pretty good handle on at this point. Let's give it a try from the top. 3-beat count in. 1, 2, 3. Where did I mess up? Let's go to 14. 1, 2, 3. To the top of the paper. Isn't that good? If you just worked on that song too, you could play it from memory. You'd have a whole lot. You'd be like, yeah, I'm a legitimate musician. And that is nice. Really nice piece of music. Nice arrangement. Everything works on the ukulele. There you go. All right, baritone players, you're just going to switch to chords. Ukulele players, you are getting ready to wrap up your foundations, or you may be getting ready to start foundations over again. Either way, we are working toward mastery of the ukulele in a different way than most ukulele players ever learn how to do it. And so let's first start off by ukulele. Let's go grab your Make It Better bar worksheet. We'll go all the way down to 12 and all the way back. Going down, thumb, index, middle, ring. Coming back up, ring, middle, index, thumb. Let's give it a try. From the top. 1, 2, 3, 4. Change. Okay, this finger should be like ow, and your thumb's probably like ow, and that's good. Those are the places. The rest of it, we don't want your shoulders hurting ever. We never want you to have pain in your forearm. We don't want pain in your elbows. So we're trying to just be as cool and easy to go as possible. Least amount of tension in your body is the best amount of tension in your body. Now, of course, on this hand, you're squeezing pretty daggone hard to get clean tones out. Over time, you will feel like you don't have to squeeze quite so hard because you are stronger. It's just that simple. All right, let's go grab Daisy Bell. That's our Monday song that we played on ukulele, Daisy Bell for ukulele. Baritone players, you are looking at your F chord, that shape, right? You're looking at your B flat shape, which is this one, index here, these two on 3. You are looking at your C7 shape, which is kind of a bummer. Index, middle, and ring up here. It's your C chord with just adding this finger on here. That's your C7. Your D minor shape on baritone, index, middle, and ring right down here. Okay. And then, of course, you finally get one easy one, G7. That's the only easy one for you on this song. When ukulele players play in the key of F, they have one chord that's kind of a bummer, but basically all of your chords in the key of F are a little bit challenging. And so it's one of those things that's going to happen. It's going to be what you end up having to do. And just you accept your fate as that decision. But ukulele players, you're either playing the chords, you're playing the melody, you're playing the tough uke, whichever one makes you happy. From the top, one time through, 1, 2, 3. 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 3. lovely tune. Hopefully you were here on Monday when we went over that one. It's really, really, I don't know, makes you feel good when you can really get it done properly. And so hopefully that's playing well for you. Let's go grab your arpeggio from the week. You guys were on the key of F arpeggio. And this is definitely, definitely the toughest of the three arpeggios that will be dealing with. And on the foundational level, obviously we have 27 others arpeggios that get increasingly complex, increasingly difficult to deal with. I'd say there's one or two that are sort of playable after this, but the rest are really quite challenging. And that's one of those things you'll be working on in the tougher class, is playing the other 27 arpeggios. And I'm in the process of writing out the baritone versions for all of those as well. So another reason to just continue to show up and work at getting bigger, better, fancier. Hey, Fishing, welcome in. All right, so now let's go play the F major arpeggio. Baritone players, again, unpleasant chord shapes for you. You got your F chord. Your D minor is down here, like there. And your C chord is, of course, looks like ukulele F chord. And then what's the other one? B flat, same as in the last song. Index here, middle, and ring on the 3rd fret. And is that it? I think that might be all of them. Yeah, that's all the chords you have. So all of them unpleasant, but there is no C7 in here, so that's a benefit. Ukulele players, remember you're grabbing your claw. Let's see how we do. Play down through measure, what is the measure number? Measure 32 and come back up and play the whole thing again. From the top, 1, 2, 3, 4. 3. Ring out. Isn't that a pretty song? Hopefully that things are going well for you. That's a tough one to play too. That should be on the outer limits of your like, oh, that's a tough one. All right, we got Aloha Oe on ukulele, please. Aloha Oe. And on Aloha Oe, baritone players, your A chord is right here. Your D chord is down here, and your E7 is right back here. So in this key of A, much easier for you to play as a baritone player. Remember, you're playing 4 beats per measure, and you have a couple of measures with a chord change in the middle of the measure. So it's a fun challenge. Hopefully, baritone players, I'm going to sound amazing at your house because I'm going to be playing the tough uke. You're going to be playing all those chords. We're going to come together. It's going to sound wonderful. And ukulele players, we're all going to be doing everything we can just to survive this piece of music. Don't go fast. Let it come to you. Try to hear the Polynesian influence of what you're trying to play here, and I think you'll be happy with it in the end. Nice and slow. Ukulele players, you're either on chords, you're on melody, you're on tough uke. 1, 2, 3. I skipped a line. I'm going to go back to measure 11. We're going to do the pickup note to measure 11. I went off into outer space somewhere. Measure 11. 1, 2, 3. Measure 13. All right. Sorry, I messed that one up. I looked. I don't know what happened. I got to that E7 on measure 11, and then for some reason I looked down to the next line. So whatever happens. Isn't that pretty? That's a nice song on ukulele. All right, but now here's the song you really want to be able to play. Okay, let's go play Scarborough Fair Swan Song for the week. And let's go knock that one out, and then we'll talk very briefly about the plan going forward. And Scarborough Fair. Here's the S's. Scarborough Fair. Let's play this one real quick. 2 times through, go up to the top, play down through measure 18, go back to the top and play to the end, skipping 17 and 18 from the top. 3-beat count in. Start with your G minor shape. Baritone players, remember you are backing us up with your chords. 1, 2, 3. Second ending. Pretty. Very good job. Very good job. Good job. So, foundation lesson number 29, right? This is technically foundation lesson number 30, which is to play through some of the tougher stuff and see how you're doing. Know that Scarborough Fair and Aloha Oe are definitely harder than everything else we play in foundation, but they are not harder than everything that we play in book 2. so this gives you a gauge of where you're at. If you were kind of able to get through this, you're probably okay. If you're like, I have no idea where he's at type thing, then maybe taking foundations a second time through is a good idea, or a third time through. Like I said, I think Marcia took it 9 times just because she liked taking the class. But really, everybody that has taken it 3 times, by the 3rd time, they're annoyingly knowledgeable and definitely ready to move on. And so next week, then you'll make those decisions over the weekend. Hey, how am I feeling? If this time slot works for you and you just want to play this music again, just come again. Otherwise, you would be looking at the next time slot, the hour after this, where we play the more advanced music. There'll be a lot of arpeggios coming for those guys. We're working on some Tin Pan Alley tunes. We'll be working on some Celtic music. So we're going to get some ready for some St. Patrick's Day music. So that stuff's coming along next week. And then, of course, the Monday night class is for members, and you should be thinking about would it make sense to be a member of the website. If you are, then you come to the Monday night class where we're doing jazz, and that stuff is really, really challenging. I'm struggling mightily with playing that stuff. Much more high level, complicated chord shapes and different melodies and stuff. So there's a lot of good stuff going on. You sort of have to, if we were sitting in a classroom together here, I would be able to tell you what you're going to do next. But since I can't do that, you are doing some self-analysis about what's making you happy, what are you enjoying about making music, and whether repeating just to get your foundational skills more solid. Do know this is the hardest way of playing ukulele. Period. The way that we work through this stuff, it's designed to get you to that highest level. The only level that's above what I teach is professional level, where you're practicing 4 or 5 hours a day on 12 songs to get ready for a concert. Outside of that, this is the top level. So when you look at a piece like Scarborough Fair, and just know it is hard, and it is hard on purpose. Not because I'm trying to make it hard. I'm trying to make it as easy as possible, but it is hard because it's real music played really well on on an instrument that's kind of fun to get started on and really hard to keep going on. So the only difference between you and somebody who can play better than you is the amount of time that they have showing up to classes, and the only way that you'll stay at this level is to continue to show up and work as best you can. So figure out, do some self-analysis over the weekend. Obviously drop me an email if you have questions or comments, and I'll try like heck to get to all of the new members. And then on Tuesday we'll start all over again. Let your friends know, hey, I'm doing this thing, you should come do it with me. And so on Tuesday we start back with Frere Jacques, how to hold a ukulele, all that stuff that you guys did already, and it'll be awesome. So have a wonderful weekend. I'm going to read some of the comments over here, and let's see. Janice says, I was a bit uke directionalist till I found you. Plan to revise, practice, and pop back at about week 3. That's not a bad idea. Thank you so much. Love the classes. See you soon. Thanks, Janice. Really good to see you. That's one of the things that happens when you buy a ukulele and you go through and you learn C, A minor, F, and G, and you play Over the Rainbow. It's real easy, and it happens to guitar players all the time. They end up directionless. They end up, hey, I can play my chords. I played all through all of the songs that I wanted to play on that. Now what do I do? And if you kind of need a little bit of somebody pushing you just a little bit, and hopefully that's what I provide for you, is somebody to say, hey, do this, try this weird thing. Have you never done that? Let's do that. And so you kind of need a little bit of a push to keep you from, you'll end up kind of getting stagnated if you're trying to do it by yourself. I've seen it all the time. Lots and lots of guitar players come to me. Yeah, I bought this guitar in 1970 and I played it for 6 months and then it's been under the bed since then. Is Folklore Center a good place to go for new strings? Mary, you can go there, or you can go to me. Right? I'm better than Folklore Center for sure. But they're fine. They're fine. Yeah, if you want, if that's more convenient, you can go to them. But you should come to me if you're here in town. I do the best. I do the best job. Nobody cares about ukulele more than Gary Ugert in Denver, Colorado. So you should come. You should come to see me. It's finally time to move on from Bounty. Yay, Ray! 3 times through, right? At the 3rd time, Bray's like, I cannot listen to that guy anymore. Will be interesting with ukulele accompaniment above my basement room. Same class, definitely will be out in the class. Come on, Ray. We don't judge. That's the other thing. Make sure you're not judging yourself against others. You're judging yourself against who you were 6 months ago. That's the guy you got to beat. That guy, he was terrible, right? But who you are today, that's who you judge yourself. Don't judge yourself. I know you're the person you're comparing yourself to, and you don't want to compare yourself to that, right? You're a better player today than you were 6 months ago. You're winning, right? And so that's who you compare yourself to. Vic, have a great day. Good to see you. Good weekend, Vic. Oh, actually, we got one more class, don't we? And then Dave, I'll be one. All right, I'll see you next week, Dave. Sounds good. I like that. I'll be back to Foundations next week. Good to see you, Linda. Have a wonderful weekend. Dennis, you're welcome. Rob says, I'll be back in Foundations. You're a great teacher. I look forward to every class. Thank you. That makes me happy. Thanks, Rob. Rob knows a teacher. He hangs out with one who actually knows what she's doing. So he knows good teaching. Pam, thank you so much. You're a great teacher. Thanks, Pam. I appreciate that. Just toss me an email or a text, Mary, and then we'll set up a time to have you come down. I'll take care of you. And Nancy, have a great. It's probably be Saturday, Mary. I think I'll be at the studio on Saturday. That's my plan anyway. Maybe I might go there tomorrow as well. So toss me an email or a text, and we'll see if we can't set up a time. Nancy, have a great weekend, and thanks for all you do. I'm going to do a tougher uke. Don't worry, you guys will be fine in the tougher uke, right? There's melody on every single piece of paper I put out. You're always got the default of playing melody, always, and that's not a default like, oh, that's the easy thing. That's the important thing, right? And so that on every single piece of paper I put out, there's a melody line, and all y'all, Rob, all y'all can for sure play melody. So that's what's beautiful. And once you can play melody, you can play melody on all of the fretted instruments. So, all right, guys, got to get off to level 2, and I will see all of you next Tuesday. Remember, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Monday are off. I will see you on Tuesday.